Hey y'all, Dennis here.
Chrissy again.
Muddy Water Search and Recovery, and it's our regular weekly live feed that will end up going into the Randy Leach case. The thing with the Randy Leach case is at this point, until we get some of these areas searched, I don't know how much more information we're going to have. So when it comes time to jump into that tonight, we're going to try something different. We're going to have you guys take the lead on that, and we will answer any questions that come up and jump in conversation on what you guys bring into it. Hey, Dan, how you doing? But first, we want to say thank you for being here tonight, for being with our channel, period.
Sorry.
You guys have been incredible. Alex, how are you doing? And these open discussions on these cases have been incredible. And as you know, we've done multiple Randy Leach open discussions. We've done a Summer Wells. We've done another case last night.
Hi,
hey,
Bobby.
Catfish. And
there is something I want to say, though. And I know you guys have been seeing it on TV. You've heard about it. I just want to send thoughts and prayers to Ukraine. I hope that it's not going to come to an end anytime soon. But I do. Thoughts and prayers are with Ukraine right now. So
see, the resolve of the Ukrainian population has been mind-blowing through that.
Amazing. Anyway.
And we had planned on trying to go do our sonar search for Billy and Mary Black this weekend. And we had, our plates were absolutely full. Let's go, Brandon.
Right?
And the ponds around us are still frozen over.
Yeah.
And Mark's here. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
So the ponds in Atchison, which...
Yeah.
The pond in question is about a 45 minute drive, but if they're frozen here, they're going to be frozen there.
Yeah.
So we're hoping this coming weekend, weather cooperates. It looks to be nice finally, and we can get out and get that sonar search done.
Yeah.
And Mark says, let's go, Brandon, indeed.
Yeah.
Say these next couple days, I think it's going to be
we were on the phone.
Interesting.
Me and Denny were talking last night. And we had we were on the phone almost an hour just talking about the different scenarios that could happen between Ukraine and Russia. And it just kind of, it's kind of scary to think about what could happen. So
that area I sent, I think you may have issues if you do search and find anyone out there. Not sure who you could report it to.
See, that's exactly.
And Dan, that was one of my big concerns. And so I believe what I would do is just contact the park rangers and try to turn it over to them.
Teaching the groundhog how to sell the weather. I must be teaching him wrong because he's not listening to me.
I don't know. It got up to 50 something today. Wouldn't bet.
Yeah, it is supposed to be in the 70s here this week.
Yeah.
But who knows?
And then it'll snow whatever.
Hopefully any snow waits till after this coming weekend, because I want to get these searches done on Billy and Mary Black. I really think the first pond we're going to sonar, I really think we're going to find something there, but we've got multiple locations to search for them if that one is cleared. And Mark says, yes, verify first and video everything. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We want to make sure anytime that we find something out on a search, we want to make sure it's documented. We've got video evidence, everything just to cover all bases.
Yep.
And Dan says groundhog hunting.
Yes.
And I am still playing catch up from the time that we were down sick and trying to catch up with that. New cases that have been coming in. Yeah. We've had multiple cases come in the last couple of days that we haven't got out to you guys yet. Those will be coming up very soon. as well as updates on some of the other cases. The updates, none of them have been located yet, but we do have more information on some of them we will be getting out to you very shortly.
Yep.
And then after we get this search done for Billy and Mary Black, then our search attention focuses right back to Randy Leach and the tons of locations that we will be searching for him.
Yeah.
And Catfish says groundhogs are good on the grill, Dan.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll pass.
I would try it once.
Right.
I would try it once.
I don't know.
Just don't tell me what it is till after I eat
Right,
it.
right.
Got a question. Are all river and canals public property? Dan, I know here in Kansas, the answer to that is no. The Kansas River, the Missouri River, where it borders Kansas, and there's another river. The water itself is public, and on the land, it is public up to the high water mark. After that, it's private property. And all of the creeks and small rivers are considered non-navigable.
Navigable. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Navigable.
it's
There we go.
It's a private property at that point. And I know several states are the same. Missouri's different. I haven't checked on it this year, but Missouri, as of last year, the water itself in the creeks is public, but you can't touch any of the land, not even underwater,
Good luck.
because the landowners own the land.
Mark says, Dennis, I was rewatching the AWP search on Stranger, and they did go up past Route 32 a bit. Not sure how far, however. I know you want to check out around that bend and maybe a bit farther.
Yes, Mark, right around that bend, just on Google Earth, there is what appears to be something in the creek. It's really hard to even get an idea off the satellite what it might be. But then if you go up about another 1,000 yards or so, there's something else in the creek there. So we did want to go up and search those. I believe the old vehicle that they had found that was definitely not the vehicle in question, but I believe it was, I want to say it was on Stranger Creek up through there. It might have been out on, I believe it was on Stranger Creek. I have to rewatch that and see.
Oh.
And Dan, I would, you could actually Google search that, Dan, and it would let you know about your state on how that works. And then I'll also look into that as well for you and see what I can find for you. And Tammy says, I have a question about the cousin. Alberta said the cousin was at the grandparents' house with his dad. I keep hearing he was with his cousin. So do you know how the cousin fits in? There was one cousin, I believe it was actually the grandma's house, that was pouring concrete that day and wasn't able to go to the party.
Yeah.
And then I believe at least one of the cousins was allegedly at the party.
Right.
And
those two, right? What was their, can we say their names?
Yeah.
What were
Darren and Travis.
Darren and Travis, yeah. By the way, thank you, Southern Gospel gal. Meg, where's your glasses?
I don't know.
Thank you, honey. That was nice. But yeah.
Was on the bank prior to 32, the old car. Thank you, Mark. I was thinking it was up in there.
John said watermark to watermark is public property. Public property. All right, I quit. Go ahead.
See, and it gets so iffy on that between public and private when it comes to water that frustrating as all get out.
Yeah. New York City went to visit his cousin earlier in the evening, but the cousin was heading to grandma's.
And that was Darren.
Yeah.
Cousin Darren. And I believe Darren lived in Topeka. Not Topeka.
Soto, wasn't it?
No. Oh my goodness. Lawrence.
Trying to think of all the towns surrounding.
I know all waterways such as a river in the state owns up to 10 foot of shoreline. I know here in Kansas, I've read it, number one for the Kansas River, and in Kansas, it's just up to the high water mark on the rivers.
I didn't know that.
So, and Colton Barrera, that case, we will be doing an update on that. It's going to be more of a recap. We still don't have a lot of information on that. But,
there it is.
But we do have some areas of interest that we want to get out and search on. But as far as anything that jumps out on Colton's case, there's really not anything right now.
Mark said Darren has the tire and small engine shop in Lidwood now. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And Cole, I will try to get that Colton Barrera update out probably tomorrow evening.
Hi, Craig.
And I know the last live feed we done on Randy, I started by asking if anybody felt that there was other cases that may be connected to Randy's case. I've had multiple messages since then, and it seems back and forth. A lot of people have said they do believe other cases are connected. We've got others who don't believe there's any. And then I did have some say that at this point, they just don't know.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you all for responding to that. A full-size truck can hide in 6 foot of water too.
Yeah.
And Mark says we got near the whole team assembled.
Jack Schultz,
Skeet Bishop, Lloyd Folsom. And Cole says, I am a local. If you need anything, let me know. I can help with getting permission to search.
Thank you.
Definitely
Nice.
appreciate that. And we will be in contact. See, and we have a few others that are local as well. Then the guy I work with, he wants to come out and help do some of the land searches as well.
He's a good old boy.
So we might have
the
more people that is helping to look and helping to find answers in any way possible just brings it one step closer, I feel.
Like I said, you all are part of it, so absolutely.
I had somebody else reach out, and they are new to the channel, and they said that they would love to be out doing searches, but they don't have the time with life issues that are going on. But they do try to look into the cases and get information out to where it needs to go, and that is just as important as any team that is on the ground. So I went down the rabbit hole on Facebook, a lot of information on there. There is a lot of information, and unfortunately, there's a whole lot of drama that goes with that.
But you were bound to run into it with this case.
And Bobby is going to the Falls of Rough River Lake this coming Saturday to search for that 80-foot houseboat.
Well, good luck, Bob.
Yes.
Woo.
Keep me posted on that. I'd like to hear how that goes.
Alex says, if we ever have a situation we need to dig on a site, please let me know. Absolutely. The more the merrier. Absolutely. Alex.
And Mark, being a local, do you not hear a lot of stuff?
Did you see what Craig wrote? I am from the west end of the state. With my job, it's hard to get away in the spring and summer, but I would like to help. Everybody, come on in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get a hold of us if you're ever going to be in the area and want to go out and search. Get a hold of us. We'd be more than happy to go with you, go out and search together for Randy. And
yeah, we know you're in the Bronx, Mark. Yeah.
well, that's from this question. Mark, being a local, do you not hear a lot of stuff? Yeah, Mark does not live here in Kansas.
No, Mark is from the Bronx in New York. And I
Mark's,
love that.
And Mark says, yes, drama for sure. Access to the case files is great. However, I read every word. And John says, right, Mark, they were stealing cars in the Southeast and bringing them back here. Bishop wasn't stealing them, but was friends with them. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, Cole's the one that said he was local.
Yeah.
And Mark has been I'm going to throw your name out here for a second, Mark. Mark has been a tremendous help all the way around, and very thankful Mark is here. Excuse us. And like we kind of mentioned last night, it would be hard to go in and name names, of people, because we're going to leave somebody out. And we're so thankful that all of you all are here. Also look like that Brinkley was in Colorado for a time and probably ripped cars off there also. And yes, rumors float around here, but most are rabbit trails to keep folks off the truth. And John, there is a lot of that, and not just on Randy's case, but multiple cases we're working on. And some of the rabbit holes you start going down and it's obvious pretty quick. Yeah. Then there's some of them that you go down that branches, and some of those branches actually branches into other rabbit holes too.
Yeah. Be right back, guys.
And Brent says, I play cards with Skeet's brother every month. He doesn't believe the two cases are related. I'm assuming he has more information on it than we do. That is good to know. That tells me a lot right there. A rabbit hole could turn into a gold mine, so to speak. Yes, it could. And don't want to say many times, but we're finding a lot of times rabbit holes do turn into gold mines. And Tammy says, I am from a small town, and as a teenager, nothing happened that we did not know.
Right.
And that's how it was down in Lebanon, Missouri, where I moved up here from. It was smaller, and we knew everybody, and somebody couldn't go out of town. Somebody couldn't get a new job without everybody in town knowing.
Unfortunately, that's how it just goes.
And maybe Dennis and Cole can team up and get permission for Bishop's Pond. I would love to search that pond. My personal opinion is I don't think there's going to be something there, but I feel that it needs cleared, number one, so we know there's nothing there. And number two, this is going to help the bishops too. If that pond is cleared, then people are going to stop bringing them out as guilty when they very well may not be. It would be very interesting to have a list of adults that were at the graduation party Randy went to. I would love to have that list, the list of the adults that were there. Yeah. Hey, Brent, tell Mr. Bishop that if there's anything in the pond, it will be the fault of Montgomery, not Skeet. Maybe you can get the permission, Brent. Yes. Because everything that I've read about Skeeter Bishop, he does not seem the type who would be involved with something like Randy's disappearance.
Yeah. Or maybe poor Skeet is in that pond. He was never recovered.
That is a very good possibility because he was never
Oh,
recovered.
lovely.
And once we have a bigger boat than what we have that we can get on the Missouri River, there's an area we'll be sonaring for barrels as well, too. One rumor is that Randy was out in his mom's car trunk and drove out to the party. That came from someone that was at the party but got no names, of course. And John, I did read that one person in particular, there was a few that had said this and went back on it. Yeah. One person had said they were driving in and seeing somebody putting something in the trunk of the vehicle and they left.
Yeah.
Then somebody, the same person, had said that they were with a group of friends off to the side and seen this, and then later on come out and said that they actually didn't see anything. So it's just trying to figure out which one of those actually happened.
Let's see. Brent says Jim acted like, excuse me, he would have been home. If he had been home, he would have let AWP search. Strangers knocking on the door with only his wife home. I think is why it didn't happen, which makes sense.
Yeah, and I fully
Yeah,
understand
makes sense.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And again, you know, if I own property out in the county after this many years and a stranger's knocking on my door wanting to come in and search my pond, I'm going to be hesitant to give them permission to as well. And yes, they said he was put in his trunk. And that's understandable, Brent. Maybe you can smooth it over and set up something with Dennis on the side. I remember in high school that other classmates would talk about his Skeet. I believed he would buy beer, etc.
I think we all had a Skeet in our schools.
Say when I had my first real drink, I was 15 and a half. I was working at a place. The assistant manager and I had become really good friends, and she bought me my alcohol.
I'm telling your mama.
Oh, Mama knows now. Mama found out years later. And that's around the time I had started smoking again. I still couldn't buy them. So she took care of buying those for me. And Brent said he will ask for sure. And Brent, please let him know that we're not looking at this, that they may have had anything to do with it. My personal opinion is they did not. And I would simply be trying to sonar the pond to prove to everybody that the pond is clear, not going out trying to say, hey, I think you guys done this, because
Mark said the last time that pond was sonared or checked had to be 20 or 30 years ago. The technology has obviously improved since then. And mamas know everything. Yes, they do.
Yep.
I was a freshman in 89, the year after Randy disappeared, and that's Alex. Wow. And then Bob says, Mama, don't let your babies grow up for cowboys.
In Southern Gospel Gal, it was amazing as I got older when I would start telling my mom and dad stuff that I had done years prior. It wasn't a surprise because Mama already knew. And yes, from what I hear, Skeet was wild. I had an hour-long conversation about him with someone that knew him very well.
Goodness. Want to help us out a little bit there, Brent? You know, names, whatever.
And Southern Gospel Gal said, yeah, we knew. Saying in Southern Gospel Gal, I see it with Megan and our kids too. They try to hide something and she knows it.
I already know.
And Brent says, I will definitely put in a good word.
Awesome.
Got anything to jump in with?
I do not. I have no updates. I have nothing.
This is all in your hands tonight, guys.
Sorry, my base was getting hit.
The Bishops are a well-respected family in that town with the lumber yard business.
Absolutely. Did I hear Dennis say a boat? Catfish, yes. I got to get a bigger boat before I will attempt going out on the Missouri River.
It's one of those,
Yes.
focus, Bobby, focus, focus.
Mobile strike.
Yeah. That's nice. He can multitask. Me, not so much.
Dan proved to me last night on that live feed he can multitask because we're discussing the case.
Yeah.
And I knew the lady didn't have her medication with her, but I wasn't sure what the medication was actually
Oh, yeah.
for.
Yeah.
That quick, Dan had the answer.
I know. It's like he's got like 3 or 4 computers around him and he's just going to town. I know where you can get a skipper.
Well, you come on up, Catfish.
Here, covered it.
Yeah, done that. I've done that.
I have nothing.
With my game, I use 3 phones and a laptop. Wow.
See, I knew it. Just all over the place. Yes. I hate Mountain Dew. I
I had
am
to have
so
a
sorry.
change.
Ugh. Ugh. Can't do it.
Normally, I drink Pepsi or Coke at home. I drink Orange Sunkist while at work. So it was time for
Yeah,
change.
let's see. Grandpa growing up used to tell us that water would rust your pipes. You need to drink Pepsi. And that's what we literally grew up with. I mean, we didn't drink it daily all the time, but
I've got water.
I've got water too. So
And
yeah,
Dan's a Red Bull and a Dr. Pepper guy.
you can have them both. Ugh. I can't do either one.
I got a case of Dr. Pepper downstairs too. Southern Gospel guy, rum and Coke
Hey,
tonight.
hey.
Yeah.
See, I can't mix alcohol with anything. I got to drink it straight.
Ooh.
And Catfish, Dr. Pepper tastes like soap water. So Megan,
Oh,
so was the new girlfriend Teresa Yellow Camaro at the party or not? She said she wasn't. Some reports say the Yellow Camaro was parked behind Randy's mom's car. Mark, from the reports I've read, she stated she was not. However, there were multiple people that were at the party who claimed that they did see her there. So I believe she was there, but I can't confirm that because everything that we have to go off of that would be hearsay, basically. Yeah. And when you look at all the rumors and theories and different things on this, it's really hard to know what's fact and what's not. Does anyone know why Teresa is not in the 1988 class picture? That I do not know.
maybe she just missed the day.
And Teresa, what was Teresa's last name?
Holden.
Holden. Dan is Teresa Holden. Also, as per Teresa, her and Randy were more like brother and sister, not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, I remember her making that statement, but Randy didn't see it that way.
And apparently a lot of people who saw them together thought they were dating as well. There's a lot that was said, but nobody will come forward with the true information.
Oh,
Conflicting reports at the Irwin party. There was supposedly another party going on. Can we confirm that?
oh,
I have We do know that there was a second party going on at the Linwood normal party spot down off the Red Bridge, Stranger in 32. I am also seeing a lot of reports that there was another party going on in Bonner Springs, and we have yet to be able to confirm the Bonner Springs party.
And Craig says he didn't see her name on the class list.
Maybe she was from a class under Randy.
I think she was.
Yeah, because there were mixed classes at that party.
Yeah, because
You know, juniors, sophomores, whatever.
I want to say she was a year younger.
I think. Yeah.
Although Steve Doherty said that Randy said Teresa was good in bed, so maybe they went out a bit than just friends. And Teresa was supposedly at the Bonner Springs party. In south of the Red Bridge, about 200 yards. Yes, that was the Linwood kids' normal hangout.
And Teresa, she was known as Red.
And my question is, did Randy also know about these other parties? And that is now the party that started at the bridge there on Stranger Creek. There was some, not necessarily a fight, but there was some tension between locals and Bonner Springs, Kansas City. So some of the Linwood people left and went down to the bridge and started a party there. Okay, Teresa was older and did not graduate with Randy.
That's what I thought. That sounded more.
Teresa stated she saw and talked with Randy in Linwood earlier that evening. And then Alex, grade. So this may be a new information. Doherty and Randy like the same girl, Teresa. Oh yeah.
I don't think it was Doherty though.
No.
There's reports that there was another person that liked Teresa as well, but those reports, it wasn't Doherty. And Teresa was with Tammy Sanchez. And,
I remember hearing that she was with her friend that night. So.
And I did see in a report that Teresa was, she was questioned by law enforcement. They actually questioned her at Joe Wilson's residence. So she was questioned.
Yeah, no, it was another guy, not Doherty. Okay.
And I'm still with Dennis on the cave as well.
Who is Pam?
Pam is actually Randy's ex-girlfriend. They had broken up about a month before the party.
Raymond.
Briaco.
Give us a minute.
So that don't sound familiar.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't have it on this list.
I'll write it down.
Pam drove the yellow Camaro, right?
No.
Teresa
Teresa drove the yellow Camaro. And Pam's the one that done rodeos, wasn't it?
The horse shows.
The horse shows.
Something.
Yeah, that name doesn't sound familiar at all. Pam said that Randy once fought Raymond and that Randy was jealous of him. Oh.
I do remember seeing that as well. And Catfish is saying, I'm still saying Randy is not in water nor in the cave.
And then John asked, Raymond is Teresa's ex-boyfriend. Yes, no?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I've never heard of
name.
this guy.
Raymond Briscoe liked Pam.
Is it Briscoe or Briaco?
Briscoe. It has a it was it's
Oh,
Briscoe.
oh, sorry.
So I'm a
So not Teresa.
Ooh.
That name just don't ring a bell.
Is he the same age as everybody?
I don't even know if that would be. I don't think that would be in here.
Yeah.
So that would be.
Yeah.
I
That's a
will.
new one.
I will go through all of our other files and see what all I can find there.
So he was with Pam, not Teresa.
Ray liked Pam, not true. Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah.
Right. Ray like Pam,
Yeah.
not Teresa.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go.
There is a whole section on Raymond on Facebook.
Oh wow.
So we'll have to go check
Oh,
that
yeah.
out as well. And Bobby, I know there's been several that have done readings. I've had several reach out to me, and they all claim that they could see exactly what happened, yet everybody's story is completely different.
Yeah.
There's been, I know, 12 to 15 different readings that have been done, and none of them even come close to.
Right, which is weird because I mean.
Have you been in contact with Alberta's friend that runs the Randy Leach Facebook page? If you're talking about Betty, yes. And we did get to meet with Betty and Larry when Megan and I met Alberta out at her place. And then again when they come over here to our place.
Mark says, what Facebook? Okay. Tammy solving the Randy Leach mystery. Consonants page.
You haven't missed any so far.
I don't think you have.
Mm-mm. We're just going back through the feed, guys, making sure we didn't miss anybody. Yeah, I think we're good. We're all caught up. Somebody drew up something else. Oh,
And Dan is in all the groups. and I do follow all the groups as well. Some of these people seem really, really sincere to help find Randy.
right.
And there is a lot of good information in those groups. Have you heard anything on Summer Wells? And Bobby, we haven't found anything new on that case since our open discussion live feed on it. We do have a couple more areas of interest that we do plan to search when we make it out to Tennessee.
Tammy says she has just learned of Randy Leach. Well,
Tammy, you start looking into Randy Leach, you're in for a roller coaster of an emotional ride with this case.
Mm-hmm.
and Southern Gospel Gal, and you use Freedom of Information Act to get the info on the DNA. Yep.
Southern Gospel Gal, it is still
Yeah.
considered an open case, so they won't release any information. And even though that may or may not have to do with Randy's case, she's talking about the bones that were found in the burlap bags. It's still close enough connected that they wouldn't release information on that. And nothing new on Summer's case.
Yeah.
I believe I read it was Ken Huffman was the one that maybe had a thing for Teresa.
I think I remember seeing that too.
Saying, and I think I do remember reading that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we'll go back through all the stuff like this we do make note of, and we will be going back through all of our information on this to find the answers and confirm and make sure and everything.
That's why we're real careful about trying not to miss anybody.
And as Dan says, also in Kansas, it's a 70-year wait for freedom of information. Yes, that is a law that needs to be changed.
A little bit.
Yeah, wait, no,
I've reached
40
out to
minutes.
representatives on this, everything, trying to get a movement started to get legislation changed. So far,
That seems
still
a bit.
coming up empty.
That seems a bit just
Yeah.
70 years. That seems a bit much.
And while I believe like law enforcement, the majority of them are really good people doing their best to serve.
Yeah.
The ones that are corrupt, there's no accountability. I mean, 70-year wait for any
Why?
information that
Why?
may help.
By the time we want it, we'll be dead.
I think that's why they do it.
Yeah. That way you don't get it. You want it bad enough, you'll stay alive. God.
And Randy's case is a prime 70 years, long enough for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Randy's case is a prime example. While I'm sure there is information they absolutely cannot release to the public, you can't tell me out of 34 years, going on 34 years, there's not information that they can't at least release to the family.
Right. They can't even, they haven't or they have not. Yeah. And they've even tried to follow the protocols about getting the information, and they were either denied or whatever.
Yeah,
really?
they took it
It's his
to
family.
court they took it to court with the lawsuit to get some of the files released, and it was denied.
They can, what does it say?
They can redact.
Red.
I would have to say Kansas is probably the second hardest state, next only to Tennessee, to get information.
Go figure. Yeah.
They can always redact. Exactly. And Dan, we will keep trying to contact. There is a representative that I'm friends with. I worked with at a place a few years ago, and we become pretty good friends. And I will be in contact with him again and discussing this and seeing if there's anything he can do to help get the ball rolling on that, or at least gain more attention on this. I'm still thinking Randy and his car is off a road somewhere, hid in high brush near the road he was on, and that is possible. A lot of report I have received are nothing but blank page. What are y'all's gut feeling on Summer Wells? I think she is alive. That one, I hope with everything I've got that she is alive.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess I'm still honestly on the fence. I'm about 50-50 on if I think she's alive or not.
I think that I think they took Summer, and it's one of those, if you want her back, you're going to do this and that type of thing. I think she's still alive. I do.
And Dan, unfortunately, I don't think she is.
Right.
I agree with Dan. I don't think she is. It breaks my heart to say that, but I don't think she's alive.
I have to think she's alive. I can't. I've got to think that she's alive. I mean, that poor little girl went through hell and back.
Lots
So,
of prayers for
yeah.
little Summerwell. Absolutely.
Yeah. The other night, we were talking about Gabby, and you told them you were gonna have a little talk about the information that you got.
Oh
That
yeah,
new
we still
information
got to do that
on
video
Brian.
as well.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to.
We'll have to read through that.
Yeah.
Michael Vaughn.
Michael Vaughn too.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Oh
Mike-
my goodness, yes.
And Michael's the little 5-year-old boy that went missing out of Fruitland, Idaho. And law enforcement are now saying they believe that he was abducted.
Yeah.
And Mark on Catfish saying he believes he's in brush alongside of the road. Mark says definitely possible, Bobby. I'm thinking in the river, under sand, or possibly in Bishop's Pond. Summer Wells, God bless her. I pray she is alive. Craig, another case you could be interested in is the missing girls from the Richard Grissom case. Never been found. Happened in the 1980s.
I got you.
Now, is Richard the one that, he was arrested, found guilty, and I want to say committed suicide in jail? There were 3 different ladies, and they disappeared from apartment complexes. Richard was the maintenance man or something, had all the keys and stuff. If so, we are working on that case. And we will be doing some searches on that case as well.
Oh, he's in prison there in Leavenworth.
Okay, then this is a different case then.
I got you.
So Craig, we will definitely look in on that one.
And that was from the late 1980s. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I'm on the right one here.
And Dan says there's a series on Peacock about Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
And Catfish says, Mark, I have thoughts he's not in the water.
He is still alive. Craig, yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You had to come get your attention too, didn't you? We got Tex trying to jump in on the video. Good boy. Good boy. In fact, let me get to look. I'm gonna check something.
He's going to go to his office downstairs there. He is a serial killer that killed several women around the same time Randy's case happened.
Search is active in Florida for Robert Helpfree.
Helpfree. Oh.
Trade you a skipper for the dog. No, my dog.
I even told Megan I'd give her my dog. She
No.
still won't go for it.
I want my dog. He just turned 3. In the Colton case, I read years ago that Justin Hatton is connected to a couple of other missing persons cases.
Oh, lovely.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. Nope.
That didn't sound good. Okay, with all the tornadoes in Kansas, if Randy's car was on there, it would be visible by now.
Right?
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah. You want me to move?
Okay, the name of the guy with the 3 ladies.
Richard Grissom. He's a serial killer from the 1980s.
Yeah, the 3 ladies would be Christine
Hatton.
Rush,
Oh.
Joan Butler, and Teresa Brown. In this one, I actually had somebody reach out to me a while back ago, and they had covered this case through the media, but then she lost contact and I haven't heard back from her.
Bobby, the going gets good, then Dennis runs off. And a girl in Wichita, too.
So there was another girl?
I'd seen reports that there may be even more victims, but they haven't put names to them. And then there were some that they believed that.
Mark says, back to Flanagan. He was a bad fella. I opened a Reddit page on Randy, and a guy there was saying how Flanagan's kid lived in squalor and that he felt sorry for him, always dirty, neglected. Ooh.
And the name of the baby that is missing, that is,
So that's more
I
than one
think I
person.
know it.
Craig just said the same thing. Lovely.
Oh,
Boy, they don't hold anything back. You could look up anything. Goodness. Not necessarily. Dan could have been covered up more. Oh.
And Dan, the name of the baby that's missing is Kennedy Hoyle.
Oh.
Hoyle.
Mark, what if we talked to Flanagan, offered him cash deal to
his son
Thank
for
you.
Randy's location. Tell Flanagan, tell us where, and we will give you.
I honestly don't think Flanagan would reveal
Yeah.
or admit guilt.
No. What are you looking up?
As slow as what I still on. Oh. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
goodness.
I didn't know that.
Goodness, I didn't know that. I mean, we've talked about Flanagan's son, and I never knew that. Flanagan, Lisa, I saw it on that. Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. He was scared to death as a kid every time he crossed it. Oh, Dan. Oh, she was murdered. Oh, goodness.
What?
Who was murdered?
I think he's talking about Kennedy Hoyle,
The baby.
the 2-day-old baby. The mother,
Yeah.
Okay.
the mother
Yeah.
was found deceased from a gunshot wound. The guy has been arrested. He confessed
I was
to
going to say,
shooting
he
and killing
confessed
the
to
mom,
it. Yeah.
and that he threw the baby and the gun into the Mississippi River.
Same guy on Reddit says that Stranger Bridge had no guardrails and he was scared to death as a kid every time he crossed it.
No, and I've had a couple other people tell me there were no guardrails on the bridge.
Yeah.
But with them being in the drought and very little water in the creek, if he would have driven off, it would have stayed there.
Yeah.
And Harold and the family and others went by there and was looking and checked that area for Randy. That's also where the magnetometers went down, Stranger, and it come back clear.
Yeah.
And all the sonar searches, Adventures with Purpose done, it was cleared from the bridge down to the Kansas River.
Zimmerman kicked someone's door in and threatened them that he'd do the same thing to them that he did to Randy. Zimmerman was also a meth addict dealer. Yeah, that's what we thought too, Mark. Or Chuckles. Boy, let him. Yeah. Sure. Ooh. Goodness, Dan. Ooh. Mark said, I would gladly contribute to Flanagan's son if Flanagan could produce Randy. Sounds like this poor kid had a rough life. Maybe Flanagan can do one last thing for his boy before he goes. That would be amazing. I think if he wrecked somewhere, would have been found. Wouldn't we have found the car? It's been a long time. Right. Tammy, yeah, I think we would have. I mean.
And Dan's still leaning
Yeah.
that he was put in a car crusher.
Yeah. Ooh.
I have had a lead come in on that we are still digging into, and hopefully we'll be able to update you on that.
Hi, Lisa.
Here before long. And Lisa, I have not forgotten about you. We are still playing catch up, but I still need to get a hold of you to do the live feed on the Facebook page to cover Aaron's case.
Mark or John. John says Dan knows who did it, even if he didn't. So, right? Is that what he said? Because I don't know anymore. Okay, give me your
Here, we can
glasses.
scoot this closer.
No, I mean, it's fine. I get to reading it and going, and I'm like,
She reads too fast.
yes. Or make up my own words as I go. I did that the other night, apparently. Didn't know.
Let's go, Brandy.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I got some news out in 13th. Oh, okay.
That is awesome, Lisa.
Dan, I don't know who did it.
Come on, Dan. Why are you holding out on us for?
Yeah, come on.
Just give us a location, bud.
Yep. Oh, shoot. Okay.
Didn't he come this way?
Yeah, I need to go that way. Sorry.
All right,
Play
everybody
musical
got up and
chairs.
left.
Oh, she wants to post a photo. I don't know if you can. Does it give you the option to post a photo?
And I'm not sure. Let's go, Brandon.
Thank you. Professor Plum with candlestick involved. That was a good one, Dan. Nice. They say that hey, Flanagan, you can say, I heard Randy's car at so-and-so. If Randy, they're good enough for me. Dan Flanagan said to police after they arrested his girlfriend, Denny, read it.
Dan Flanagan said to police after he was arrested for his girlfriend's murder that the last time he flipped out like that and
Yep.
what he'd said was the last time he had lost his temper like that was 30 years ago.
Yep.
Which would place it at 1988.
yeah. Mark, thank you.
And Brent, if anyone from out of town is wanting to know what the roads look like in person, I traveled several routes today. He may have traveled and posted to Recover Mission of Randy Leach. And I saw those, and Brent, those are really, really nice videos that you done there. And he showed driving down the road, what you're seeing out here, the directions.
Yeah.
And the one I saw, I believe you were going south on 166, then you cut across and come back over. And keep your fingers crossed, Dennis. I'll be on Green River in July searching for a cheetah bass boat. Possibly I'll end up with it. That'd be awesome, Catfish.
Let's find Randy. Absolutely. Thank you, John.
And it's this, out of all the cases we work on, there's many of them that I'm up all night thinking about. But the Randy Leach case is the one that I just can't stop. Randy has to be found.
I mean, there's other people out there that I'm sure have been missing longer that obviously they want brought home as well, but it's local. There's just the whole thing about it just kind of sucks you in and you just can't look away. So.
And then meeting and talking with Alberta, and You could see the pain in her eyes when she
Yeah.
talks about Randy. You can feel it radiating off of her. And
Dan says, what concerns me is why did they close off caves where people say Randy was killed?
and not just close them off, but claim nothing was there even after another department had photographs beforehand that shows that there may have been. And even threatened to arrest that police department because they were out of their jurisdiction.
Yeah, that was the other thing I thought was funny. Out of their jurisdiction doing it. So that kind of makes you wonder, what are you doing? What are you doing? Craig says, I look at the net and Google Earth for information about Randy on a daily basis. I have this time off from work. Good. That's good, Craig. That's why Dennis and I are concerned about the cave, Bobby. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to do with corruption and it's amazing.
See,
Dennis, did you see the pictures Harold had of inside of cave?
I didn't see the ones that Harold had. I seen the ones that law enforcement had taken. I'm not sure if it's the same photos as what Harold had, but the ones I seen did show that there was satanic symbols on the walls.
Mark says Randy was pretty banged up that night. Question is, was he able to sober up enough to drive? Also, where did the keys come from? Also, Leanne's boyfriend's statements say him and Leanne left together.
See, and Mark, that statement concerns me because in the Adventures with Purpose interview they done with Leanne, she stated that he left around, I believe it was 10 o'clock after they had an argument.
Mm-hmm.
He left and she stayed. And then his statement is that him and Leanne left together.
Yeah.
With Leanne, she found Randy, put him in her car, went in to go to the bathroom, come out, Randy was gone. She drove around looking for him.
Because, I mean, she said what? Not even 12, 15 minutes and boom, gone.
Right.
Yep.
So that's part of the frustrating stuff on this case is all the conflicting statements made.
Yeah. And then Mark says they did not leave together as per Leanne.
Yeah, she said multiple times in that interview that he left after they had an argument.
Yep. Huffman was questioned by Harold on audio tape, and he said there was a fight over the keys that night. Yeah, simply because Randy was too out of it, and I don't think they wanted Randy to drive. So.
And Lisa, I just got that picture. That billboard looks absolutely incredible. There is a billboard in the 13th district of Tennessee that shows pictures and information on.
Can we share this?
Not only missing people, we'll want Lisa's permission to do that, but not only missing people, but cases that have been ruled one way, but evidence shows another, and it just really brings the corruption out to light.
Lisa, do you mind if I share this on here? This picture?
Reports Robbie Marble, Kelly Smith were throwing Randy's keys around. Kelly said he asked for the keys and Randy said no. And Mark, I did hear in an interview that Kelly done that he asked Randy for his keys 3 different times. Randy kept saying no. And the last time that he asked, Randy was pretty forceful, so he let it be. Kelly was saying how he felt it wasn't safe for Randy to drive, but according to him, he never took Randy's keys.
Yeah. Okay. We did get permission from Lisa. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's amazing. That's Lisa's son. That's Aaron. One of the cases we've been working on. It looks amazing, Lisa.
And then there's the other.
Yeah. There was another one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Oh.
And there's the one that
Okay.
has all the pictures on it.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna get the other one here. And this is the other one that goes with it. I don't know how well you can see it, but these are the other missing people in that area. So yeah. Hey Meg,
And
look at this.
Leanne's boyfriend, Lee, also said he and Leanne asked Randy for the keys and suggested that Randy give it to Miss Irwin. And Lisa says, go ahead. Dunaway has to look at that billboard every day for a week, a month. Good. Hopefully this helps open a lot of eyes to what's going on there, Lisa. And Mark, yes, Dennis, I heard that interview as well about Kelly and the keys. And Mark, that's where it gets concerning and frustrating again, because you got so many people that talk about Randy and his keys.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are different stories and different accounts. And it's just crazy.
Okay. Dan goes, how do I put my picture on my Google account? I think you just click on the Google, the little G. And I think once you click on it, it should ask you if you want to change the picture, I think.
And Catfish says Randy's picture is still up at the Walmart.
Oh, wow. That's
where he's at.
awesome.
And that is several states away.
And yes, I agree, John. Lisa, we are praying for answers. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the other pictures that are on that billboard,
Yeah.
when we do our Tennessee open discussion coming up soon at this point, we will be going into each one of those cases as well.
Yeah.
Aaron's case will be at the top of our list on that one. All of these cases need answers, but Aaron's really sticks out to me. And I mean, to be ruled a suicide and nothing points at suicide whatsoever.
Chuckles for Life, though, has a very good comment. I have wondered, why didn't Leanne just go to the Leaches to see if he was home with all the driving she was doing? Why? That makes perfect sense.
That
absolutely
is something I've definitely wondered.
Yeah. Absolutely. Makes sense.
And she said her and Randy were good friends. So it does open the question on if maybe she didn't want to get him in trouble if he had been drinking or something.
But still, she's doing all that driving for Randy. Don't you think she would have gone to the house?
And John
just
says,
to see or drive by?
John says, Chuckles, her story has changed from the day of the party.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say anything ill of Leanne here, but after that interview, she did make several comments on a lot of posts and stuff that were contrary to things that she said during the interview that kind of caught my attention.
Yeah.
But, we also got to look at this as, 30 coming up on 34 years. It was 33 years when she done the interview. That is a long time to where all the information, all the theories, all the rumors, that's going to play a part after all of those years on trying to keep straight what happened or what you've heard over and over, the same thing over and over for all of those years, to where maybe it kind of distorted some things. One of Randy's friends did drive by mom and dad. Yes, Catfish, that was Steve Doherty that drove by the following morning.
I guess you can't see the car from the road and she didn't want to get him in trouble. Very true. Very true. But John. Leanne said she looked at Lenape Cemetery for Randy, but went off the talk for him when I asked her how long did she look for him at the cemetery. Lovely.
A lot of information on the groups were removed. Not sure why. Lisa, cool. I got
Yeah. A lot to tell you. Yeah.
And right, Mark, it's always a question. I don't believe Leanne is showing
Oh,
all
God,
her
no.
cards.
Absolutely not.
And that's why I believe Leanne and James's stories never intersected. Both were looking at the same time and neither one mentions the other.
Right.
And yeah, but she never told anyone that she had Randy in her car at the end of the night. That's a bit weird. Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to imply that I think Leanne is involved in anything, but there was a lot of things with that interview and then different posts and comments that she's made that contradict each other that has made me wonder why.
Right. Because John said Leanne could have checked Lenape Cemetery in 2 minutes.
Right.
True. She didn't want to put a time limit on the story.
Another thing that struck me as odd is she knew it was like 3:02 or 3:03, some weird time like that when she got home.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's people at the party know which way Randy left.
Oh, yeah.
On. Yes.
I know they do. But we'll never know. But yeah, it's amazing how she can pinpoint a weird time. Yeah. Which I don't get. It's been 34 years. Just come forward already. What is the holdup? I realized why John and James went together to drive Kelly Braun home. I read one brother drove his car and the other brother drove Kelly Braun's car home.
Right.
Then do the same for Randy. Good dudes.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, they were driving everybody home that needed it to ensure they made it home safe.
Right.
Seems someone was paid to keep their mouth shut on this case.
I wonder if a lot of them did.
You know,
that's never out of the picture. I've always wondered that myself.
See, there's a chance that somebody was paid. There's a chance people were threatened.
Oh yeah, people were threatened and the whole 9 yards. But I think it's time now. It's been long enough. I mean,
and to get right down into it, though, there is still that chance that he may have driven himself and had an accident. And getting the friend's car home as well as the friend. Yes. Yeah, they were definitely doing the right thing that night and very commendable.
Oh, that's a good thought. Southern Gospel Gal wrote, I mean, anybody who has info could write an anonymous letter to all these people searching, including Larry Bishop or Alberta. Why not? Oh my goodness, yes.
And Alberta actually has a P.O. box that people can write to anonymously. I will get that information and then we will get that shared as well.
Right, Dan. I agree. Dan says people disappear when they get too close. This is why no one comes forward. I totally get it. I absolutely get it. But it's bugging me.
See, I keep going back to saying, you know, there's still a good chance of an accident. But when you look into like what Dan is saying here, you know, there's so many things in this that points to foul play.
Right. And all these things that have happened to all these other people that got too close or know a little bit more than they should or whatnot, they've disappeared or something has happened. I get it, but.
See, I've been given 4, technically 5, because one of them was a couple. Yeah. So 5 people that actually turned up deceased working on the case.
Right. Yay!
Megan's back.
Sorry, I had to do a haircut.
You gonna
We
do
just-
mine later?
Yeah.
We've been talking about why no one has really come forward and why Southern Gospel Gal had a good one. Anonymous letter to Alberta just saying whatever.
Yeah.
I'm confident he will be found this year. I will have the party at my house. You are all invited. And Brent, I will bring alcoholic beverages to celebrate that.
Yeah. Does anyone know where Leanne's boyfriend at the time lived? I read in reports it was close to the Irwins.
What was the question?
It says, does anyone know where Leanne's boyfriend at the time lived? I have reports. Dan. Mark says, Dan, they better not miss Megan or Christy. Would be walking in the lion's den.
Nope.
Yeah. Smile, Megan. It's not the end of the world.
I don't like to smile.
Let's see.
Okay, does anyone know where Leanne's boyfriend at the time lived? Honestly, I don't know. We probably have it in our files somewhere.
Hey, Denny,
Yes.
they want to know where Leanne's boyfriend lived at the time. John said, I read in reports it was close to the Irwins.
It was close to the Irwins. I don't have the exact location in mind.
Southern Gospel Gal. Yes, it was supposedly just down the road near
Right.
the bend.
Yeah, it was not very far from there.
Yeah.
See, I've got the address deep in the files,
Right.
but I wouldn't share the address publicly. But it was very close and on 166.
Right. Well, apparently she even stated it in her video that he lived by
Yeah.
it.
Look at that. That billboard is still on here. That's incredible.
Yeah, I know.
See, so this coming weekend, hopefully we're out doing these searches for Billy and Mary Black. The following weekend, regardless with the search this coming weekend, the next weekend we will be out searching for Randy.
Yeah.
And then this coming weekend, if we find answers on Billy and Mary Black on Saturday, then Sunday we will actually be out looking for Randy.
When I'm able after this marriage, I'll come down and Dennis and I can go to where the party was. Maybe I'll see something no one else seen.
Absolutely. Come on out, Catfish.
Yes. And yes, thank you. We're all praying for good weather as well. Thank you.
I'm saying when we first went to Linwood and she had the same feeling,
Oh, goodness.
it becomes a different feeling when you get there knowing what we're there for.
Yeah.
And when you go to the area the party was, when
Right.
you drive by it,
Oh, yeah.
it is just such a somber.
And I mean, we slowed down obviously because this is the first time I had seen it. And I think I told Denny, slow down. And I got to looking at that and you get goosebumps. It
Mhm.
just sends a chill like, oh my goodness, I know what possibly happened here.
Yep.
And we're actually seeing it for ourselves. And I'm trying in my head to think 1980. Okay, he was standing here. She was probably over there. This is what they were doing. That kind of stuff. I'm gonna go get spine. Oh, Dan, goodness.
Well, Dan, you take care. We'll be
Yes.
sending prayers and hoping everything goes good for you.
Good night, Dan.
Yes.
Take care, bud.
You know, you said you got the feeling when you got near the party
Right.
house. I got that feeling right when we got in front of Stouts,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gas station.
Oh, yeah.
Was a report of a well on the Irwins property. Dennis, did you hear that?
Mm.
I had seen that there was a report of a well. Then I've seen reports that state there wasn't. And going through records, I have not been able to confirm yet that there was a well on that property.
Yeah.
And guys, I had to admit, when we first went into Linwood,
It
we
hit you
pulled
then.
over and cried. I literally cried pulling
I
over
did
there.
too. I cried. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll admit I was a big baby. I cried driving through there.
and they drove me past Alberta's house, and all I could see was Randy standing in the driveway. That's all I could see, and it was enough to just. That's where he was. That was where he lived. It's amazing, amazing feeling.
And John says someone is digging where the party was. Looks like it may be 5 to 10 feet deep right now.
Lovely.
Looks like they may be using a skid loader or something. Someone said the cover was dislodged or something like that. Okay, I do remember that now, Mark.
But did you see?
Yes, I do remember that.
The Facebook has a permit filed for a well to be dug at that address. Yes, I remember it. Yes. Okay. I'm thinking there's a well on the property. Not sure.
And John, do you know if there is still a for sale sign out there on the property?
Oops.
Yeah, but a well's not big enough to put a car in. No, but the car could have went elsewhere under that scenario.
Oh, you get them more than just this one time, Dan? Goodness.
Ooh.
Woo.
It's sold already.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. We need to, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We need to speak with the new owner and see if they will give permission to search some things there.
Yeah.
I got to get up early, so good night, y'all.
Good night, Southern Gospel Gal. Have a good night, hon.
And thanks for joining us. And
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
see you next time. Southeast of the house, they're now maybe 150 yards away. And John, does it look like they may be digging another pond, something along those lines? Find the new owner, get permission to enter their property.
Oh, yeah.
And Catfish, that's the plan. I want to go out and so this weekend's plans are changing a bit. Saturday we'll do the search for Billy and Mary, and then Sunday we will go out there.
Oh, yeah.
And while we're out there, regardless of how that goes, we may do a search Sunday in a different location as well for Randy. Not sure what they're digging. Mark says yes, he sees it too. So we're going to have to, do you have your computer?
Oh, John says it looks like they hit rock and stopped. Oh, dear.
Pull up Google.
Yeah, maybe they hit a car. Also, Dennis, stop by and see Darren at his shop. He is 9 houses away from Alberta's towards Stranger.
Okay.
Write that down. Yeah, Megan's getting out her computer here to see what we got.
Look up the party location. $166.
Hold on, guys. We're looking it up real quick.
Here, do this.
I texted you the address the other day for Darren. Oh.
Yeah, I've got that written down.
Oh, let me do that.
We're getting there, guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh. Where?
This is the party house, right?
But they're all over the place. Megan's got one of those computers you can touch the screen. I'm like trying to follow it, and it's a mess. Oh, is that it? Is that it? What are they doing?
Hopefully, once we're able to explain to the new owner kind of
Between
what's
the
going
Irwin
on.
Pond and the Kansas River. Does Flanagan own the land next to the party still?
I believe when I searched online the property that he owned then, it does still pop up with his name on it.
Oh, great.
Now, if that system that is being used there is outdated or something, but going through 2 different websites, his name has popped up both times.
Yeah.
And on Google Maps, it says Flanagan on the house next to the party still. Yeah.
Mm. Are you not?
This is it over here.
Yeah, this is the party house here.
So it would be right here, right? Is what they're doing? Is that it?
Looks like they burned it.
And this here probably hasn't updated
Yeah,
yet.
I'm sure this
Yeah.
is old.
Flanagan had been in jail. How would he have paid property tax in jail? You sure the county didn't auction it off?
Well, from what I'm seeing, there's 2 other names on there with his, and they had Flanagan last name as well.
Zimmerman owned property east of the party. Flanagan was living with Constance, his girlfriend, at another location, and they okayed Flanagan property was cleaned up like 20 years ago, so I doubt he still owns it.
Say, I didn't think he would own it, but everything that I've been able to find online still has him.
Right.
You know, once again, a Randy Leach live feed, and we've got a whole page of stuff to look into.
Oh, yeah. They probably have them listed on it. That's why the county operates bad records. That's the way the county operates. Yeah. Once I get it right.
Onyx Hunt app shows all landowners.
Oh.
See, I used to do Onyx, now I do Hunt Stand, so I'm gonna have to go on there and double check it on that.
Did you check the county records, property appraiser, blah, blah, blah?
I didn't go through the county records yet. I just done online searches in a couple different areas at this point.
It's about the same picture.
Then that isn't it. That just looks, wait, yeah. Oh, no.
Well, when we get off of here, I'll pull up my
Yeah.
Hunt Stand. It's
Yeah. Where are we?
There's the party house.
Then,
we've got a lot of digging into on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't see anything different right over there. Yeah, there's nothing different there. Okay. Let's see. Where did it?
Okay.
Oh.
So it's going to be somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Well, this makes me think they were getting ready to do something if they
Yeah.
cleaned all that up.
Probably adding on.
Maybe
Maybe.
putting in barn or something.
Who owned the house south of Lenape Cemetery in 1988? I don't have that name in mind, but I do have who owned that house at that point in time, John. I will get that, and I'll try to get that sent over to you. Did you see the comment by Jack Schultz's nephew that he thinks it was Flanagan that was picking up Jack at 5 a.m.? They were supposed to go to California.
What?
And
wow.
Mark, a friend of mine lives very, very close to the family. And I am hoping through him, I will be able to get to meet with somebody from the family to discuss that case. I have seen where not only the nephew, but I've seen where other people as well have claimed that it was Flanagan that picked Jack up. That was the last time Jack had been seen. Again, that's going off of what people are saying and not actual facts, but I have got that same information from multiple other sources.
It would have to be in this section here somewhere.
And I also had the individual that reached out that there was a young lady that disappeared who knew too much about what may have happened to Randy, and that the last person she was seen with was Flanagan as well. But I have not been able to find anything in regards to a young lady missing there.
This is from April of last year.
Can you update that?
Mm-hmm.
And Mark says, John, I think Bennett had or rented that house near the cemetery. Not 100% certain on that. Is this the greenhouse, John? If it's the greenhouse, that is closer down to 32. Those who own the house south of Lenape Cemetery in 88 would be a big help to me.
Garnett. Or is that Barnett?
Barnett.
Oh, Barnett, excuse me. The mouse is in the way.
Barnett, I believe, owned the greenhouse.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't think the greenhouse was the one that was right down from the Lenape Cemetery, though.
Wait. Oh, never mind. I'm not sure. Only the one across the road from Lenape from the police report of Jeff.
Okay, and John, I do have the name in all of this, and I will go through this. I will try to get through it later tonight, if not tomorrow evening for sure, and get that sent over to you. Or if you could email me, though, that would be great, so I would have a way to get that over to you. Yeah, I put my email here in the comment section.
Every time we do this, we get more information. It's amazing.
Yeah, you guys are just absolutely amazing with this. You guys have brought out so much that we hadn't really considered yet. And you guys helped confirm some things. You guys helped debunk some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys have just been incredible.
Yeah.
And the teamwork of all of y'all is just incredible.
Yep. How far are you from Nashville, Tennessee? Well, we're a ways.
I don't remember that
We're
now.
a little ways.
I mean, okay, Google.
Oh, what happened? Oh,
I'm not.
You got on your phone.
Okay, we'll have to do this on Megan's phone.
Yeah. Sorry.
I forgot my phone and my computer is linked.
Anyway, we're a bit far.
Look it up right here. Because I just looked that up not long ago because my cousin was not far from Nashville.
Sounds like we need to dig up the Flanagan party. Yeah.
In Catfish, we are 587 miles from Nashville.
I figured that's what you meant, Alex. The land, not the party. I kind of knew what you meant, but it's all right. God only knows what we're going to find on there. Whew. Are you going to have enough?
I just read that.
Yeah. I knew exactly what he meant. 10-hour drive, not far.
Right.
Flanagan and his crowd know what. Oh, absolutely.
I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, Chrissy and I both have to go to work in the morning, as I know many of you do. And we have a lot more information now that we need to go through. And John, if you could email me, I will get that information over to you once I get that found. You're more or less near Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with John on that also.
John,
And
don't work too hard.
So
He doesn't have to, but me on the other hand.
I do either inventory, or if inventory's caught up for the moment, I go out and help with warehouse, which means I drive a fork truck. So I'll let the truck do all the work for me.
Yep.
So with
James Watkins is who I show on the property across.
Across from where?
that is right, because we thought it was funny, the last name.
Yeah, if you all don't remember, Megan and I, our last names are Watkins, and we actually had a uncle named Jimmy. Whew. I saw that and looked at Megan. We both kind of, what? John, excuse me. You once mentioned a report about a young child in the Irwin house tried to report something. You remember that? Yeah.
I think that was actually Dan that mentioned that.
Yeah.
A 12-year-old girl, I believe it was. And Mark, the area that was mentioned with the caves, that would be just outside of Tonganoxie on Stranger Creek, where those small caves go into the rock wall there.
Yeah.
And Dan had to call it a night because he has those
Yes,
back injections
yes.
in the morning.
Yeah. Time for my as well. Good night, everyone. Good night, Bobby.
Have a good night,
Good
Bobby.
night.
Yeah. Whew. Goodness.
And Mark, I will also send you over the report I found on that as well, Mark.
Okay. He's gonna follow up with Dan.
But guys, we're
Sure,
going to
Mark.
go ahead and call it a night. And thanks again for being on here with us tonight and for everything you guys are doing to help assist these families in finding answers on their cases.
Yes.
We will be going through all of this, have answers on a lot of this, and be ready for next time.
Oh yeah.
So till then, you guys stay safe. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.